completely completely different town teams out there today. Just give us how you saw the game.
Exactly the same as that. First half not good enough. Too slow, too passive. Didn't run hard enough. Lost first contacts. Didn't win any second balls. It's a difficult sport when you don't do the basics right. But the positive is they didn't have to do a lot to score. I think Chappie's made a save of any note, but we've not laid a glove on them. Literally, second half. Changed a couple of things around and probably should have scored more than what we did. Big decisions gone against us again, which is sometimes you need a little bit of luck in football. Well, not even a bit of luck, just a little bit. I think that's bad luck that the penalty's not been given. But we've not been 2-0 down before, and even looked like coming back. That's a Northampton at home. That 2-0 down first half, lose the game 3-1. Never looked like getting back in it. Today we found a way, and I think we're unfortunate not to win the game in the end. So it's a difficult emotion because you're sort of frustrated with certain bits, but really happy with the reaction and the second half performance. Really happy with the way the supporters stuck with the players. We've said all along we haven't. It's difficult for them to get off their feet and make noise because we've never camped in a half for long enough. And so we spent 55 minutes in the second half camped in their half. So I thought that was another marker that the relationship between the players and the supporters is growing.
That second half felt like it was a performance that's been built in the last 9 because that's 10 games unbeaten in the league now. That belief and desire to get back into it is something that maybe, like you say, wasn't there previously. It must be satisfying to know that the boys have got that in them.
I think there's been signs of it over the last few weeks. At Crawley, we went away, came back from behind twice, seeing it out against Mansfield last week, having a little couple of minutes with the supporters at Mansfield last week. The reaction after going 2-0 down today, people coming off, people coming on. We've had an illness in the camp as well. Matty's had to come off feeling ill. Tom Lee's not in the squad today because of illness. We've had 2 or 3 staff members ill as well. So it's without making excuses for them because they weren't ill in the second half. But it's a juggling act at the minute. We're trying to balance lots of things.
2 of the younger boys stood up today. Brody Spencer with his first senior goal for the club. Callum Marshall coming on and scoring after a difficult period with him. I don't know if they thought it was Windsor Park in the second half or not, but they, made a real difference for us.
Yeah, or us allowing the Northern Irish boys to get out of trouble. Callum he's been struggling with his. He's got a bruise, having to wear like a protective sort of silicone thing because it's been sore. You watched him in training yesterday, and he's chesting the ball. He's uncomfortable. So that came into the part of the thinking. But the way the game was going, it was a free roll of the dice being 2-0 down, and that's what you want. You want people coming on saying, "Pick me." Josh and Wardy were really good together at Mansfield. That's why we started like that. But you've got to be adaptable, and you want people to. You don't want to pick the same 11 every week. You want competition with places.
One of the players that sadly had to go back off was Lass Sorensen that you brought on in the second half. Is there any indication on how he's doing at all?
We think he's felt his hamstring again. So I never saw it, but he had a long busting run in the second half, and by all accounts, when he tried to cross it, the physios know because they watched the game differently to me. They noticed that he had a bit of a reaction. Then he tried to play for another 5 minutes, and then accepted the fact. And part of it is learning. Lass needs to learn his own body, and it's frustrating. He's never been injured before. It's not a case of we throwing him in too early because we could have started him. That if he goes down with a hamstring and he started him, you might think he's not done enough. But he's he played 35 minutes Tuesday. He was looking at 45 minutes today. Yeah, so it's that's probably one of the. There's a few negatives today, but that's definitely the main one.
Togetherness is a big buzzword the season. We've discussed it between the players and the fans in the stands, but within the group, there seemed to be an awful lot of that towards the end of the game. It got a little bit tasty between both sides. It does in intense affairs, and they stood up and stood there for each other, which must be really pleasing to see as a head coach. Nobody let their emotions spill over, but they managed it properly.
A part of the frustration, have that fire in the first 10 minutes. Now football's an emotional game, and it grows and grows and builds and builds. I get that, but their lads had a free shot at Misha, which is unacceptable on the football pitch, which wasn't seen. I'm not surprised Misha reacted the way he did because I saw it. But no, it's spirit, togetherness. It grows. You can't just drop it into a football club. And I understand people in my position always want time, and supporters want yesterday. But it does take time to grow it. It's habits, it's behaviours, it's daily sort of things. And I think in the last month we've definitely made progress in that area of the pitch. We can add quality, we know that. But we've got, we're down to our last 18 players today. We literally don't have another fit player in the building, which shows you that we are bare as well.
Last thing I'll ask you is just with Cambridge now on a Friday, it's a slightly odd time to have a game on a Friday evening, especially this time of year. What's the next few days look like for you and the squad?
It'll be normal running. We'll be off tomorrow, in Monday, off Tuesday, 2-day running. So Wednesday, Thursday will be the normal Thursday, Friday. So you're just trying to keep it as normal as possible. I think psychological rest is really important. I think this time of year, it's the only time they can get, probably the Monday and the tomorrow and Tuesday, to get a bit of time with family, a bit of time buying some Christmas presents, because they're not going to get a lot of time over the next 5-week period. So yeah, just keep it as normal as possible. Always been the same. You get beat 10-0 today, they'd have been off tomorrow. We'd have won 10-0 today, they'd have been off tomorrow. It's either right or it's wrong. So the players know that as well. I think they trust me that I'm good from a word on that. But the day at home is making sure that they are resting and recuperating.
Perfect. Gaffer, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, Raj.
Nope.